In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to scale your content business to make more money without getting burnt out. Now, for reference, here's a screenshot of one of my clients' dashboards. He went from around $3,000 to over $30,000 in a month. And even though people's businesses are going to vary, I'm showing you this to give you an idea of what is actually possible. Now, most people don't fail with content because they're bad creators. They fail because they're running the wrong business model. Whether or not you like it, as a content creator, you are a business owner. And as a business owner, you need to have an intentional business model that maps out how your company is going to make money. If you ask most creators what their business model is, they have no idea. And this is exactly why they all get so burnt out. Realistically, burnout just comes from not getting the results you want from the work that you're doing. If I gave you $5 an hour to go dig a hole in a field, you would probably get burnt out pretty fast. But if I gave you $100,000 an hour, then I bet the burnout would magically go away. And the reason why is because you're getting better results. So if you want to fix your content business, you need to first fix your business model. Content creators think that they need better thumbnails or better retention or better editing or better hooks or better storytelling or whatever it may be. But the truth is, none of those things fix the main problem. And as much as you'd like to, you can't out thumbnail your way out of a poorly designed business. What most creators actually need isn't more views, it's more money for the views that they're currently getting. And the reason I know this is because I've worked with plenty of people making $50K plus per month who only get a few thousand views per video. So if you are a creator who's getting some views, how can you restructure your business the right way so you're making the most amount of money for the views that you're getting? Well, the key thing that most creators get wrong is they're stuck chasing the same unpredictable and low-paying ways to make money online. So this means things like AdSense, brand deals, affiliates, merch, and all of the other low effort ways to monetize an audience. Yes, those are business models, but in order for any of those methods to work, you have to get hundreds of thousands of views consistently, and that's a very hard game to play long term. Trust me, I played it for years, and eventually I got burnt out. I didn't like how volatile AdSense was. I didn't like dealing with brands who don't pay you for 90 plus days and constantly want revisions. I didn't like pushing low paying affiliate products. And I knew that I didn't have a long-term business. Even when I would make 30K in a month, I still never felt secure because it felt like I was just getting lucky. And I knew that I couldn't count on making the same amount of money month after month. And what I realized was instead of going after the largest audience possible to make money the standard ways, I was much better off building a more targeted, high intent audience. And this is the way that you escape burnout. You don't need to post more. You don't need to go viral. You don't need to hire editors or some big team. And you don't need to chase brand deals. What you actually need is a targeted, high intent audience. Most creators think the goal is to build the biggest audience possible with millions of followers and a ton of views. But bigger doesn't automatically mean better. And to prove this, a question that I like to ask people is, do you want more views or do you want more money? Because those two aren't always the same thing. In reality, there are two types of audiences. The first is the entertained audience. This is what most creators accidentally build just by default, just by uploading on the platforms that they use. This is usually the standard audience that most people build. These people follow you because you're funny, you're interesting, you're relatable. They might give you good engagement, they might hit the like button, and they'll definitely binge watch your content whenever they're bored. But the second you stop feeding the algorithm, these people are going to move on because they weren't really here for you. They were just here to be entertained. This is the kind of audience that is great for big view counts, but it is terrible for an actual business. Now, the second type of audience is the problem-aware, high-intent audience. This is the audience that will fundamentally change how your content business works. These people don't just watch your content, they actually need your content. They have a real problem, a real desire, or a real transformation that they want to achieve. And they see you as someone who can help guide them or help them with their problem or just solve whatever issue it is that they may have. So these people aren't just iPad babies staring at a screen. These are people who are watching your content for a very specific reason. So for example, you might have someone who is a fitness creator and they're teaching fat loss to people who want to lose weight. Or you might have someone who's a finance creator and they're helping people get out of debt and start a side hustle or start a new business. Or you could have a dating coach who is just helping people with their dating life. Or you could even have a productivity creator who is helping people who are struggling with discipline or ADD or whatever else they need to be productive. The point is, these types of viewers aren't just mindlessly consuming content, they are actually there to learn. And because of that, they're already halfway down the customer journey. These people are ready to take action, they're ready to get help, they're ready to invest in themselves, and they're ready to buy products. And because of that, they create a healthier, a more profitable, and a more sustainable business for the creator, which in this case would be you. And if you're already getting at least a few hundred views per video, then you already have the skills necessary to do this. You're just not using them the right way. The best way I can explain this is, imagine if you made a fine dining chef go work at a McDonald's. They might have all of the skills needed to make more money at a fancier restaurant, but if they're stuck working at a McDonald's, then they're going to be capped on how much money they can earn. And this is exactly what happens to most content creators. They have all of the skills to have a nice, consistent, high-earning business, but they're simply applying their skills the wrong way. So instead of focusing all of your time and effort into getting as many views as possible so you can sell other people's products, you need to focus on getting higher quality viewers that will be interested in buying your products. And here's a major truth that most creators never realize. You don't need millions of followers to make life-changing money with content. You don't need your AdSense to spike, and you also don't need a ton of brand deals every single month. All you need is one offer that solves a meaningful problem for a specific group of people. And that is exactly what a high ticket offer is. A high ticket offer is simply a premium solution, usually $1,000 to $5,000, that helps someone achieve a very specific goal. So it could be coaching, consulting, a guided program, a done with you service. The format doesn't really matter too much because a lot of variations can work. The only thing that really matters is the outcome that you're providing people. Creators underestimate themselves because they've been conditioned to think that their content is only worth a few cents per view, or they can only get paid if it's by some big company that's sponsoring them. But if you can solve a real problem for someone, then people will gladly pay you thousands of dollars to do that. You just have to find a problem in your niche that's painful enough that people actually want to solve it. And the funny thing is, creators already have the two hardest things required to sell a high ticket offer. They have the audience, even a small audience is enough if it is targeted, and they have the authority. If people watch your content and they trust you, then they're far more likely to invest in a solution that you provide. Making your own offer is one of the best products that you can have as a creator because it's very low cost for you, it's very low risk, and it provides a ton of value to your audience. If you do this the right way, you're truly helping them solve a problem, and it's one of the best ways to actually get a return on the time and effort that you're putting into your content. A lot of creators have a limiting belief around this. They don't think that they can actually help people. They don't think that people would actually pay for their services, but I promise you, there are people way dumber than you and way less helpful than you that are making way more money than you simply because they decided to make their own product. And the thing is, a lot of people think that they're not an expert, so they can't sell a product to someone else. But here's the thing, you don't need to be an expert. You just need to know more than the person that you're teaching. You don't need a math degree to teach addition to someone in the second grade. And the same thing applies to most other skills. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be a few steps ahead of whoever it is that you're helping. If you've already figured something out or gone through experiences that someone else is struggling with, then chances are you probably know some things that could help them. And again, you don't need the biggest audience to do this. A lot of people think they need to have some huge following, but this is one of the biggest misunderstandings in the creator space. The size of your audience has very little to do with how much money you can make with a high ticket offer. And I've seen this plenty of times firsthand with my own clients. I've helped an acting coach with 1,000 followers go from 0 to 10K in a single month. I helped a hairstylist with 2,000 followers get to $7,000 in a month. And I've helped a DJ coach with 12,000 followers get to $8,000 in a month. And these aren't guarantees. Everyone's results are going to be different. But the point is that none of these people had a massive audience. What they did have, though, was the right offer in front of the right people. if you can find a specific group of people and help them solve a specific problem, then you can charge thousands of dollars for your help. So even if you only get a few hundred views per video, you can still make tens of thousands of dollars per month since you only need a small number of clients. Now, if you're a creator who's already getting views and you want to turn that into a real business, reach out through the link in the description and we'll see if it makes sense to work together. Either way, I appreciate you watching and I'll see you in the next one.